Is this your newest legacy staple, or did one player just have a really good weekend? Let's find out. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher, aka ThrabenU here for another legacy video. And today we are going to be messing around with a deck list that contains Runehorn Hellkite and a bunch of other cards you've probably never heard of. Today's video is sponsored by cardconduit.com and we'll take a look at them in just a minute. MTGO user Killabee ended up with a top 4 finish in a Legacy Challenge this weekend, as well as an 18th place challenge result, and a 5-0 deck list piloting this deck. And it's got a lot of neat things in it. Conceptually speaking, this deck is going to look kind of similar to the Riddler, that is the Riddlesmith combo deck list. And honestly, that's not surprising because Killabee is one of the biggest proponents of that deck list. Essentially, if you look at this pile of 24 zero-cost artifacts, we're going to look to cast a whole lot of spells. And we can use a Riddlesmith to kind of churn through our deck and select, but ultimately, what we're looking to do is cast an Echo of Eons and refuel our hand. And some neat things are going to happen from here. We also have Wheel of Misfortune, which is a terribly templated card, but it's an interesting Wheel of Fortune effect. So each player chooses a number 0 or greater, then everyone reveals their numbers simultaneously. You determine the highest and the lowest numbers. Wheel of Misfortune deals damage equal to the highest number to each player who chose that number. Each player who didn't choose the lowest number discards their hand and then draws 7 cards. So essentially, we're looking to choose a higher number than our opponent so that we get to draw 7. And there's some interesting things that we could do here. One of them is Intervention Pact. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage, you gain life equal to the damage prevented this way. So, for example, with Wheel of Misfortune, we could choose 9,999, cast an Intervention Pact, and bam, all of a sudden we gain a ton of life, and we're probably not losing that game. And we will successfully get to do our draw 7. As our opponent ends up discarding cards from, say, a Runehorn Hellkite activation, Dream Salvage starts turning into a 1 mana, draw a very large number of cards, and ultimately we are looking to win the game with our single copy of Grapeshot. That's the plan. One plan. Technically, we could win the game with Urza Saga Construct tokens. That is a backdoor plan. But the plan is really Grapeshot. Although, there is a certain other card that I tend to play in mono black decks that looks pretty hot here. Yeah, I think with that being said, we're going to hop into the matches here. We're going to see if this deck feels real, if this is a deck that only that one player is going to be able to pilot it because they built it. I'm sure I'll make some sequencing errors and such as this deck looks to be rather complicated, but we'll see how it goes. If you're new here and you enjoy the wonderful jank you see today, please consider subscribing. If you're a regular, throw me a like before the video begins. It really supports my content. Let's battle. My first opening hand does not have a way to get this Echo of Eons into the graveyard. I usually would need something like Lion's Eye Diamond. I could technically keep the hand, discard an Echo, and then try to do it on turn 2. That seems a little sketch. I think I just mulligan here. This hand has the same problem as the last one, where I just don't go fast. Can't get to this Hull Breacher as quickly as possible. I could lead on turn 1 Urza Saga, intending on getting a slow Lion's Eye Diamond for a guaranteed hand. These are so much slower on average than what I was goldfishing with when I was testing the deck out. Why have you forsaken me? On 5, I am probably keeping here. I think pitching some mana. Get a feel for what's going on over there. By sacking our Bauble. There's a Spirit Guide. Oh fuck, I'm gonna just get Blood Moon. I'm just gonna get Blood Moon. I'm gonna lose this Urza Saga and everything is going to be awful. I think I have to play this and just hope that my opponent does not have a Blood Moon. Like, it could be an initiative deck instead. It is a Goblin Rabblemaster. That is a swift clock. I am going to be under a lot of pressure quickly. we've got gambles. So this has a filter function I will use. We will cast a gamble. I'm going to grab an Echo here. I did not discard. Gamble again, just gamble for an LED, have a 50% chance of having an extra LED for next turn. Sure. I think I want the 50% chance at 3 mana. Gamble. Grab LED. Nice. I will play it in case my opponent casts a Chalice on 0, and I could just go right now. I'm not a coward. Let's do it. Oh, that's a grape shot. So, Mox. Wobble. Storm is 6, so this grape shot's not really lethal. Gambling for an LED, I think. Put wheel under here. Red mana. Gamble. Lion's Eye Diamond. Nice. Play it. Okay, we're cooking with gasoline now. Echo again. There's a waste knot. Might be about the end of my turn, though. I'm not ready for Runehorn Hellkite yet. I don't have the 6 mana. I have 4 mana available, one of which is used to gamble. I mean, I guess I just try to keep going, right? So I'll gamble, find LED, didn't discard it, cast LED, opal, keep this one, black mana, opal, keep this one, black mana, waste not, exile, gamble, get echo, crack, cast echo. There's a Runehorn Hellkite. I don't have a way to get it into my graveyard. And I haven't done one of these yet, so my opponent hasn't discarded cards, right? This doesn't make them discard. Ah, I think I've fizzled. That was a lot of cards. But yeah, I think I have to try again next turn. Alright. I've got plenty of mana next turn, I think. But my opponent has a random hand now, and they might just have a hate piece that messes with me in some capacity. Yeah, I was afraid of that. So now I don't get to search for my LED, which is a super important card here. Dang it. These are also just mountains. So what? I need to discard the Hellkite to hand size, take 10, go to 3, and try to win from graveyard with waste not nonsense? Okay. Oh, I have 9 cards in hand from a bobble, so I could have made my land drop. My bad on that. Get rid of a dream salvage. Alright. Suppose I could die here. Not quite dead now, but it's... Oh, okay. That effectively beats me. Yeah, Magus of the Moon, it was a beating for me. I also just, like, never had the opportunity to do this, at least with the way that I played my lines. Yeah, but I just don't beat the Trinisphere, because I can't get to 6 mana to play my stuff, so I will concede. So I would like a Surge node to increase the number of counters on a Chalice of the Void. I would like a Haywire Might, so that I can go and exile things like a Trinisphere. Then maybe like 1 Chain of Vapor. Silence doesn't seem super necessary. From here, without having reps, it's harder for me to tell what to do. Like, I don't know how important Hull Breacher, for example, is. Like, Hull Breacher, Echo of Eons is obviously very, very good, but Hull Breacher in a vacuum is not particularly good against my opponent's deck. So there is that. I think I need to keep Intervention Pact for my wheels. I'm going to get rid of a Noxious Revival and a Hull Breacher and see how that feels. This hand does not do anything on turn 1, and I think I want to do a thing on turn 1. This hand doesn't do anything. I gamble for something. Can it do something if I'm down a card? Down a card. Chromox, imprint a spirit guide. Yeah, I don't get to 3 mana on turn 1. Alright, let's go to 5. These opening hands don't feel good. This is kind of the same position as before. I could keep something like 1, 2, maybe it has to be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gamble for Echo. Try to play Echo on turn 2. But it really seems like if I pass the turn, I start running into problems. I'm gonna go to 4 here. I need a second LED to do Hellkite nonsense. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I keep this and hope my opponent doesn't play a lock piece or whatever. Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. I wasn't gonna use my graveyard anyway. I've got some mana on board before a Trinisphere comes down, but I think I'm dead. Alright, if there's a follow-up like Chalice of the Void here, I think I will just concede for the sake of my sanity. Yeah. Absolutely not happening from here. We will concede. GG's. Today's video is sponsored by Card Conduit. Selling cards kinda sucks. Card Conduit's trying to make it easier, and they do that by taking all the best buy list prices and aggregating it for you. And they give you the best possible buy list price for your cards. They take a small cut, but even after doing that, you usually end up getting about 19% more than any one specific buy list. And if you want to try this out, use promo code ThrabenU to save some on your fees. Ooh, we're gonna get to play the Wheel of Misfortune hand. Uh, okay. So what number am I supposed to name in Legacy? Also, which land do I play? Probably Gardens. Although I think I leave it untapped. Let's Chromox, imprint this, play Lotus Petal, play Gardens, exile Spirit Guide, and cast this. I think leaving Gardens open. And now I pick a number. How big do I go? Feels like big. Feels like big. Alright, my opponent chose 8. So I have this problem where I chose Mycosynth Gardens, which doesn't make colored mana this turn. And so can't go any further than this. It's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, we're playing against Merfolk. Okay. I get to draw my card. We're at 5 life versus Merfolk on turn 1. Fuck off, Merfolk! God damn it! I don't want to get paired into Chalice decks all league and just have this happen. I don't really think I am going to beat Chalice decks. Like, this feels pretty awful. Alright. Especially this one that just has counterspells, so I can't just do the thing on turn 1 and hope it works out. I'll play a Riddlesmith. I believe that I am supposed to go ahead and do this and start looting these into the graveyard? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Maybe we can assemble something crazy with Urza Saga a couple turns down the line. Okay. Oh no. So that gets to target my Urza Saga and just serve as a 2-mana land disruption spell. I can work towards like a Wheel of Misfortune Dream Salvage situation, I guess. But this is not good. Alright, play an Urza Saga. Let's gamble for something. I guess a Waste Knot is about the best that I can do here. Just try to set up Waste Knot next turn into some ridiculous turn that wins somehow? Question mark, question mark, question mark. True Name Nemesis is real bad, because I can never block that. My opponent opts not to attack. I've got a land drop. Filter a color here. Oh, yes, sorry, I have black mana over here. I don't need to filter a color. Drop a Waste Knot. Alright, it's in play. But I can be dead to just, like, Lord here. Alright, there's the first one. Or I guess they only need one, right? This is always unblockable, and then they just attack with all their creatures. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to conceptually work out what I'm supposed to be good against. Surge Node, Haywire might come in, and I guess probably Chain of Vapor as well, like last time. Go one of these out. I think let's go one of those out still. And maybe one Dream Salvage down. So LED, LED, Lotus Petal, Gamble, go. Yes, this is a keep. Let's cast some spells. Shall we? Bobble. Petal. Gamble. Echo. Crack. I think I just crack one for right now. Echo. Okay. We've got a Hellkite. We're gonna do shit. We are going to do shit. Absolutely. Alright, Opal next. LED next. Do I play the Surge Node? Doesn't feel like mana is gonna be my limiting factor. Let's copy an LED. We'll play a Chrome Mox with no intention of imprinting. Alright, stack red. Stack red. Do this thing. This one's an activated ability, so this one's not counterable. There's the Grape Shot. I don't have a second mana to put this Riddlesmith in play. That's awkward. Can I imprint? Do I imprint the Grape Shot and try to win with Waste Not? Oh no. Do I just wait a turn? Wait a turn, I have to deal with that bullshit Chalice card. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Don't try this at home, kids. So we're gonna try to loot into like an Echo. Discard a Chrome Mox. Play a Bobble. Don't need another Gardens here. One more shot for an Echo or a Dragon. Wheel of Misfortune. I can almost certainly cast that next turn. Alright. Yeah. Merfolk Trickster. Lord of Atlantis. And Lord of Atlantis again. Oh, one more. And Cavern of Souls. Okay. So we've got Wheel for if things go bad. Oh. I could technically do this at instant speed, but I don't think that gains me anything. It is a thing that I'm allowed to do if stuff starts getting weird. That just happens. So I can cast Dream Salvage, targeting my opponent, hold priority, double crack LEDs, and cast this, or do this Hellkite activated ability. Draw 13 cards. That feels fucking dope. So exile this. Exile this. Yeah, I think that's my line. Alright, Dream Salvage, target you. Alright, no, activate only as a sorcery. Okay. Yeah. Crack. Crack. Activate the Hellkite ability. I think I'll leave one of each color floating. Alright, cool. Now, I'll go ahead and resolve this. Draw a gajillion more cards. Chain of Vapor now. Maybe fuck. No, I was gonna Chain of Vapor now, so bounce that. Thinking about it getting redirected at my Riddlesmith. That was obviously a punt. I think it's probably going to be fine. Got caught up in my own head there for a second. Like I'm definitely gonna miss that mana. Yes. I think I'm just gambling for an LED and then I'll be okay. Gamble. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Hey. I'll get Intervention Pact then. Alright. Do this. Make a land drop. So I will cast. That's not a mana source. I will cast a Wheel of Misfortune. Hold priority. Cast Intervention Pact. Use Wheel of Misfortune. Type as many 9s as they let me. Go to 119 life. is very much not right, but okay. We're going to cast some spells. Then after I cast all these artifacts from my hand, at least the free ones, we'll go ahead and Echo. Where are all my LEDs? All right. So this is a mana. Keep this Mox Opal. Go ahead and Chromox. Imprint a Gamble. Is 3 mana for another Wheel of Misfortune. And this time I can just pay 21 life. Which is more than my opponent can pay. Can I get back to 6 mana for this? 1, 2. No. No is the answer. I have 4 mana in play. So I can pay for my pact, but I think I fizzled at Storm 16. That sucks. Yeah, so I'll just cycle these baubles. And unfortunately just have to pass the turn. 98 life buys a very large amount of time, and it looks like I'm gonna get to just do the whole intervention pack, Wheel of Misfortune thing again. But I probably punted that game by throwing away that LED. So can I start going off again this turn? I have 1, 2, 3 mana, so the answer is yes. But Chalice. I'll play a Spire of Industry this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll just discard some land this turn. Or like an Urza Saga here. Do an end of turn Chain of Vapor on that Chalice. And then hopefully just go off from there. Spellpierce unfortunately occurs. That Chromox doesn't have anything under it. I have a Haywire Might that I can use to answer this. Go ahead and cast a Gamble. Grab Haywire Might. Cast Haywire Might. Back it to Junk Chalice. I have 1, 2. Yeah, I will have enough mana to try and do the thing here. Hull Breacher can go under here. Simian Spirit can get exiled. I can just pay life here. I don't need to use Intervention Pact and like put that mana tax on my next turn. Use 21. Okay. That's real cool. So we'll make a black mana. Do a Mox Opal. Do this. Make another mana. Cast a Waste Not. Do Urza's Bauble. Double LED. Rack both LEDs for red. Do this. When I do this, I'm going to trigger Waste Not. Let's always yield to that. My opponent just had an absolute fistful of creatures. Yeah, that's just going to win me the game on its own there, I believe. But let's keep going. Empty my hand of 0-cost artifacts. Cast an Echo. There's a Hellkite. I can get that into play. Or into Graveyard. Keep this Mox Opal. Cast Riddlesmith. LED lets me dump this into Graveyard. Yeah. But now mana is probably my bottleneck. Guard one of these wheels. I'll cash in these baubles, and I think that's a good enough turn. Merfolk Trickster. Island. Wasteland. And Mutavault. That's a fine turn. I get a whopping 4 bauble triggers. I've got 14 power in play. And casual 77 life. I'm going to go ahead and just play an Urza Saga. Attack my opponent for a bunch of damage. Merfolk Trickster's fine. I'll hit you for 12. And I'm just going to play a creature and pass the turn. Like, I can do the whole Hellkite thing again, but I'm low on time. And I'll just attack my opponent one more time and we'll call that good. Yeah, you may draw your card. And that's good enough for the concession. Okay, that was a pretty impressive turn. I think I like how I have boarded. Like, there's other stuff I can do. Like, I can play a Pithing Needle for Wasteland, for example. But I think this is fine. I'm just worried about being on the draw when my opponent can just, like, Chalice with Force of Will back up. So, This hand needs... Well, I guess it doesn't, right? Like, I just play LED, copy it with Mycosynth Gardens, turn 1 Runehorn Hellkite. I'm just soft to Chalice, but I don't know that I get rid of something that lets me do a turn 1 draw 7. Alright, opponent kept their hand. Ooh. Yeah? Yeah. So bad for me if this gets countered. So I Mox Opal. I am sort of worried that my opponent has a counterspell. So I wonder if I'm just supposed to do the thing that always draws 7 instead of the thing that draws 7 if they don't have a counterspell. I'm going to do the thing that always draws 7. What color do I want to leave floating? Red for gamble? Be leaving a red for gamble open. Activate. There's an Echo in my graveyard. Okay. This is fine. The Chromox imprints Riddlesmith. We exile some Spirit Guides. Cast an Echo. And... Fizzle? I can't get to enough mana to cast Wheel of Misfortune this turn. I guess I'm going to go ahead and just gamble. And that got Spell Pierced. Okay. So I can just cast a Wheel of Misfortune on my next turn. A little scary. So my opponent has this Mutavault, right? Alright, I'm going to cast this so Mox Opal gets turned on. Do this. Cast a wheel. Ooh, it's going to get countered. That occurs. I'm going to keep this Bauble in play. I think I need the Metalcraft mana to just try to cast a fair Wheel of Misfortune. Ooh. That's not great. You waste not. I will absolutely take a turn to cast that card. Then I'll pass the turn. Next turn we'll go for a Wheel of Misfortune. Alright, the Hex Catcher is annoying. Because now my opponent has at least 2 on board Mana Tithes. And as soon as I take damage, I can no longer always bid higher on Wheel of Misfortune. So there's that. I bobble. I'm going to do one of these. I think I need to keep Metalcraft. I'm gonna die. Alright, need mana. That's not mana. Urza Saga. Okay, never mind. Urza Saga is back online as a land drop. That's an out to this current situation. I'm gonna have to probably cast 2 Wheel of Misfortunes. We're now missed on my opportunity to cast the first one. Cycle a Bauble here. There's that Lord of Atlantis again. I mean, Chain of Vapor is interesting. I probably can't cast it because then my Waste Not gets bounced and I just don't super realistically have a way back into this game. Yep. This 6 damage. Could bounce the Hex Catcher. Could bounce the Hex Catcher here. Yeah, my opponent responds to this. Alright, they're going to go ahead and copy. They do bounce my Waste Not. I'll take 3. I've got a window to draw a mana source and resolve a Wheel of Misfortune. Unfortunately, I have missed, meaning that my opponent gets to whack me for a very large amount of damage. Oh, fuck, I was supposed to play Waste Not. Sorry, I had conceptually accepted my loss. Oh, there's a flash something after block. Okay, alright, yeah, that does have flash. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, gamble doesn't really get me places, and even if it does, this stuff covers it, and I'm dead on board. GG's. We took a large number of game actions, but Chalice is bad. Chalice plus Force of Will is worse. This hand does the Hellkite thing on turn 1. I will keep this. Sure. Alright. LED. Oh, Fauna has no counter spells here. Good to know. Red. Red. Activate. Okay. Oh my god, I don't have Metalcraft to Dream Salvage to draw like 7 cards here. Oh, that's so frustrating. Wow. I'm 1 artifact short of 1 mana draw 7. That is tragic. My hand also does Stone Cold nothing. And 2 LEDs are in my graveyard. Fuck, okay. No, it's cool. It's cool. Alright. This deck is not for me. I need this extra card off Bobble to be good. That is the artifact that would have given me Metalcraft to do Dream Salvage last turn. Cool, cool, cool. Can't put that waste not in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I'm just going to discard both Hellkites this turn. I'm just going to just do like an end of turn brainstorm or something. Okay, they're just fetching to clear. Okay, so with 2 of my LEDs in the graveyard, my ability to do this thing again is not 0, but pretty close. I'm gonna play out a Lotus Petal that my opponent can just like Prismatic Ending, and I'll be sad about it. I am currently... I'm not just gonna go all in on a Hull Breacher right there, just by the way, before someone points it out in the comments. Accumulated Knowledge, sure. I think I just have to fully refresh this 7-card hand. Okay. I think I should probably just concede. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. I have no persistent mana sources. My opponent has a counterbalance in 7 cards. I don't think I'm coming back from this position. Like, I could grind this out for 10 minutes off my clock, but I don't think that is going to be worth it. So I want Haywire Might as a way to answer counterbalance. I just play more copies of Hull Breacher here against a legit blue deck. That seems reasonable. Opponent is probably going down on removal. Mana Vapor is a thing I could play. Pithing Needle is a thing I could play. I'm going to go Noxious Revival out. From here, I'm a little bit less sure. I probably need to keep this Silence this time versus Counterspells. Maybe the Pact can go. I don't know, like maybe 1 Chrome Mox. This game gets slowed down a bit. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't really know. This is not a deck I just innately feel like I know how to play. The Opal and Chrome Mox is 2 initial mana, which gets me to a Riddlesmith. I'm fine keeping this hand and seeing where it goes. So, Opal, Bobble, Chrome Mox. I think, unfortunately, imprinting this Silence here. We'll do the Riddlesmith thing. I'll cast this. Chrome Mox can go away. And let's see a card in your hand. A Tundra. Urza Saga is a perfectly reasonable draw. That's very good if Riddlesmith just eats the Swords to Plowshares very quickly here. Ooh. Start with some punchies, huh? Opponent's at 18. I can cast a Wheel of Misfortune for a large number. And always do the thing. Or I can cast it for a decent number and treat it as a burn spell. This also might just get countered. It does. So I can play an Urza Saga game for a couple of turns, make some constructs, end up with a second LED, and then get a dragon. That sounds okay to me. Sure. No, this is all just totally fine here. Do I want to just keep the artifact? I think I just want to keep the artifact, honestly. Like, the artifact is worth another free loot here. I think I just punch for 2 and fully play an Urza Saga game. Like, I have 5 artifacts, soon to be 6 from Urza Saga, and then 8 from the other Urza Saga plus the search. That just kills my opponent. I think that is fully my plan. Awkward. I probably need to activate that in response. And we'll see what my opponent wants to get rid of. Presumably the large construct. Oh, they're voting for Chrome Mox. Sure. I wanted to set a stop here. I didn't quite get there in time. Let's make a bunch of mana. Do this. Do a search. Grab like an LED. But I could be hitting for 1 more point of damage this turn if I had an upkeep stop here. Right, they're at 6, facing down 2 different lethal constructs. Okay, cool. Not really how I expected to win that game, but, like, we absolutely take that. This is all in on a turn 1 Wheel of Misfortune. Okay. Opponent's got a Ponder to start the game off. And we'll see where I end up going. Got double bobble. Pedal. I think I need to keep this gamble for next turn in case things go wrong. It feels like it's pretty likely to go wrong. Exile a Spirit Guide. Do this. Cast Wheel. Alright, we are at the choose a number stage. What does my opponent pick here? You just win the game if you pick 19? Probably not. You need to fetch. At least once. Like, do I go like 18 big? Feels like I go like 18 big. We both chose 18. Okay. I did need to go to the full 19. Yeah, let's cycle some cards and try to find like a like a Riddlesmith or something to deal 2 points of damage to my opponent. This is very strange. There's a Brainstorm. Alright, my opponent did not have to fetch. Oh, that's an Echo. Like gamble for LED without playing an Opal. Let's do that. LED. Cast Opal. Cast LED. Got bit in the butt by choosing my color ahead of time last time. Not gonna choose my color ahead of time here. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this. Okay, this is fine. I get to fully empty my hand. After casting all of those, I will attempt a gamble. That is a blue elemental blast. So let's cycle through these. Misty Rainforest and Misty Rainforest. We need to do a whopping 2 damage to my opponent. My savior, Simian Spirit Guide, has arrived to save the day. Now, my opponent does have 6 cards. And, like, it's pretty reasonable that a blue-white control deck can answer a Simian Spirit Guide, but here we are. Here's a Brainstorm. And let's crack this bauble. Council's Judgment will indeed answer Simian Spirit Guide. My opponent is at 1. They are just fully dead to me drawing a Grape Shot. Oh, there's a Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's pretty good. I can play a Wheel of Misfortune as a 1 life draw 7. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll go ahead and cast a Simian Spirit Guide. Oh my god, I counted the Simian Spirit Guide as both mana and a creature. Ugh. That was a mistake. I should have just wheeled. Right, let's look at a card over there. There's an accumulated knowledge. Alright. So I can do this Hellkite thing at any point. Opponent is brainstorming with Jace. So they have removal for Spirit Guide. Okay, there's a Hydroblast. Portent is fine. Canonist is really annoying. Not very good at answering that. Alright. Oh fuck, I just died to the Canonist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like I can cast this Hellkite and then Jace bounce happens. Yeah, damn it. Yeah. So I punted that game by not casting Wheel of Misfortune last turn by counting Spirit Guide both as something to cast and as a mana source. GG's. Alright, what does this do? 3 mana on turn 1. I could keep this and just play a slower game than what I've tried to play previously. Or I just like play out Riddlesmith and Waste Not and go from there. I'm willing to try this. So maybe start on the Chromox. Throw the Spirit Guide under there. I'm willing to pay the life. I think leading on the Riddlesmith. Then we'll opal it up. I don't need another Chromox. So no Metalcraft means that's the end of my turn. My cat is absolutely having a heyday with a rolly ball full of treats. So if you hear that in the background, that's what's up. Let's poke with this. I could try to do some gamble nonsense this turn. I think it has a decently high fail rate, though. I'm going to just try to keep playing this game slower than what I've been playing it as. I've just been unhappy with a lot of the mulligans from this deck. Like, in theory, you just have, like, the LED Echo, like, instantly refuel hands, and, like, those require 2 cards, like, 3 cards if you want to gain some benefit from it. Oh, Doomsday, probably? Yeah, alright, there's gonna be Cabal Ritual into Doomsday. So I probably need to win next turn, which is going to mean taking some riskier gamble-based lines. I'm gonna have to, like, gamble for an LED, then gamble for an Echo or something like that. Alright, my opponent's dropping to 8. I do get another turn. I would like to gamble. We're gonna find Lion's Eye Diamond. My opponent says no. That is very, very unfortunate. I am going to cast a gamble. I would like to find Lion's Eye Diamond, and in addition to that, I would like to discard... Oh, there's a problem with this, isn't it? I'm gonna discard... fuck. I still need an LED. Yeah, so now I've gotten rid of this other gamble. I needed that first one to resolve. So now I can just get lucky, hit Echo. Did not get lucky and just hit Echo. Back in for 2, but I assume that my opponent just wins this turn. So you're telling me there's a chance. Negative. Oh, by the way, which build are they? Another Edge of Autumn. Prevention Pact, not quite what I needed here. Give me so many looks with Waste Not. One more look with Waste Not. Or sorry, one more zombie with Waste Not, rather. And we lose to the Thassa's Oracle. Yeah, I needed my opponent to not have Force of Will blue card. They have Daze in their build and Personal Tutor. Looks like 2 Dazes, so they're not maxed out on those. Okay, good to know. Corporate Orb is a very respectable sideboard card here. Hull Breacher is very reasonable. I don't think I'm interested in Silence. The Noxious Revival that I looted through can technically stop a Doomsday kill, but a little sketch. I think I'm just going to get rid of that. And the Intervention Pact? This just gambles for an Echo. Okay. Let's play out a bunch of artifacts. Like so. I think I'm going all in here and exiling both Spirit Guides right now. So we'll gamble. Alright. Grab Echo. Rack LED. Cast Echo, leaving red floating. Get Force of Negation. Hate my life. Pass the turn. Opponent has a Duress over there. Duress will take the card that I drew, probably. Life is cruel. Oh, they go for a Thoughtseize rather than a Duress. Sure. I guess since I know about a Duress, I do just cast this out. It makes Storm Count worse for the future. But I suspect that I'm at the higher life total. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna name it 18. I guess my opponent can't name 17, right? If they go to 1, they die to a Doomsday. They could name up to 16. So I'll pick 17. Our opponent chose 15. So let's go Gardens, LED. I'm not sure if I want to Chrome Mox Imprint here. I think I will. Imprint this. Target an LED. Rack blue. Cast a new Echo. This is fine. Play some more cards. Or I guess I should get this LED into play first. Or no, that doesn't super matter. Alright. Good stuff. So then I will go ahead and gamble. I just do a Hellkite and give my opponent no opportunity to counter. I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. Let's discard my hand for a whole bunch of red. Do the Hellkite. We're at fresh 7s. Ah, yeah, I dodged a counter. Nice. Play some LEDs. 2 initial mana sources here. think I will use one of them to Dream Salvage, drawing a whole bunch of cards. Yeah, you may brainstorm in response. Okay, my opponent has seen enough. Run it back for one more game. So this hand doesn't do anything. Like, I can gamble for an LED, but one LED doesn't do anything. It takes two LEDs to do something with this hand. This hand just attempts to wheel on turn one. I wheel with another mana source, and it's not embarrassing if I just get discard spelled on turn one. Okay, this is fine. Let's try it. All right, the game begins. Duress and Thoughtseize, and I guess Grief also could be. Oh, just fuck me. Okay. Oh, okay. That's fine. Oh, wait, it's not fine. It's not fine. My graveyard's gone. Yeah, my graveyard's gone, and my opponent can now name higher with Wheel of Misfortune than I can. Don't have Chain of Vapor to bounce that. Don't have Dismember to answer that. I think I just got juked. I will grape shot that out of play and then attempt to use my graveyard later. Okay, that's a plan. Let's gamble. Grab grape shot. I thankfully did not discard. Did lose the wheel though. So a bit of a Pyrrhic victory. Yeah. We're throwing all that stuff into play. Play Petal. Grape shot, target Dalthy Voidwalker. Does cost me this Petal. I'm going to same target Dalthy Voidwalker twice, in case one of those randomly gets countered by a Daze, and then the others I will send at my opponent. That may be me being a little bit too paranoid. I think I just fully cycle both of these. Like, I need the Metalcraft, but I also just need to find something to do. And cycling these here gives me a better chance at finding an Urza's Saga or finding Echo plus LED to refuel. Ponder is A-okay. Follow up Underground Sea. No shuffle off the first Ponder. And no shuffle off the second. They like what they see. Wheel is not what I'm looking for. I'm going to play Bobble and not crack Bobble. Any artifact. Well. Oh no, Doomsday's happening. Oh. Okay. The creature beatdown plan is very good at against my deck, which is incredibly light on removal. Yeah. So I'm a mana short for Metalcraft here for Wheel, but you know, I don't think I can beat this Sholdred. Like, I think it just clocks me for 6. I don't get to make constructs off of Urza's Saga ever. I can't wheel anymore. The bobbles get significantly worse. Yeah, I am willing to throw in the towel here. This is not happening. And I think we're going to call it quits here for this league. All right, we have reached an 0-4 drop portion of this league. I don't think this deck is very objectively powerful. I think if you already have 10,000 hours into playing the Riddler, like someone like Killabee might have, that it's totally reasonable to pick up this deck. But picking up this deck for the first time, I can't learn this deck that I've never even seen in action before, while trying to figure out like the lines and doing commentary and trying to be entertaining all at the same time. It is just like conceptually too much going on at the same time to try and do all of that at the same time. Like, I can see certain situations where, like, I had other lines available to me. Like, there's some times where I wasn't sure if on an Echo I should be cracking or holding the Echo. The LEDs are very important. And let's get the deck list on screen again. Holding the LEDs are very important for doing something like getting this or a future Echo into your graveyard. But cracking them is important for something like a Wheel of Misfortune. And there were definitely a couple of situations in this league where I would do something like crack 2 LEDs, do this, draw another one, crack 2 LEDs, do it, and then I don't have access to LED anymore to discard a future Echo. I feel like this deck is pretty clunky. There's a lot of times like, oh, I have a Dream Salvage, but I am not actually doing what I need to be doing. And like with these wheels and echoes and stuff, a lot of times you're putting you're putting blue cards back into your opponent's hand that could be Force of Wills or Force of Negations or whatever. So I don't know what I'm supposed to be good against playing this deck. Like I don't think I'm a very good Urza Saga deck. I'm scared of Graveyard Hate, and I have very few cards that actually answer hate pieces that get into play. Like, I just found myself losing to stuff. Like, a Dalthy Voidwalker is a huge problem, a Shoulder is a huge problem, an Aethersworn Canonist is a huge problem. And this is not something that I would spend my time personally pursuing. Kind of like as a closing thought here, I think this deck is capable of doing powerful things, but so are so many other decks in Legacy, and I feel like a lot of those decks are going to have fewer fail cases and choke points than this deck has. This deck is going to catch Graveyard Hate. This deck is going to catch a lot of the Artifact Hate. This deck is sometimes going to fold to counter spells. And I feel like there's too many things going against this deck for me to say to someone like, yes, you should invest your time in learning how to play this deck. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and sell my copies of Runehorn Hellkite while they are currently spiking, and hopefully I make a little bit of money on that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click the like button, helps out a lot. If you have any thoughts about the deck list or you think I'm wrong, please throw those in the comments and I would love to read them. I hope you have a great rest of the day. See ya!